Welcome back. Maggie Blackwell is with me right now from United, and they had their landscape committee meeting recently, and you're going to talk about some topics that were in that meeting, right?
Right. Well, happy Arbor Day.
Yes. Is it Arbor Day today?
It is Arbor Day
I wasn't
today.
sure the date because I know they're doing the Arbor Day tree down at Aliso Creek.
Exactly.
But I wasn't sure if that was the exact date or when it was.
It is. Actually, it is Arbor Day
on
my calendar anyway.
All right.
And at 10 o'clock, there's a ceremony with a new sycamore tree down at the creek.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's why I have on my warm shirt today.
So if you're watching us in the morning, this pertains. If you're watching us the replay,
too late.
We're sorry, you're too late. All right, well that's good to know because I honestly didn't know if this was the official Arbor Day.
Right, and supposedly, I haven't seen the tree yet, but supposedly the tree is of some size that they are planting. And so that will be good to replace a very large tree that they had to remove.
Yes, I learned about that one, yeah.
Right.
Okay, very good.
It should be very exciting. Well, we have something new this year. We just approved a new landscape maintenance manual.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And, there's a picture of
there, see?
Yes, right. Go right down there.
Yeah. And that's the...
there we go.
That's the current sycamore tree. And what you were talking about is one that had to... unfortunately, didn't quite make it after it was, I think it was there for hundreds of years.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they're planting.
All right.
But that's a beautiful picture. Yes, that's really our signature tree. We have a new landscape maintenance manual that staff worked up for us. And what they did was put all the landscape things together at last in one place. And they added some new features. So it has a lovely new cover.
Now, is this for something that for the residents can have so they can...
This is for residents. It's strictly written for residents so that it has what you need, most of what you need all in one folder. It does not contain the maintenance schedules because those vary month to month and week to week. So you can always find those online.
Yes.
But the other information is right here. And they have an overview here. And then the next page is the role of the landscape division. And this tells what landscape must be doing for the residents and for our community. And it says specifically what we do and what we do not do.
Right.
And then it explains what the resident should be doing or does do or does not do, because there are some things the resident must not do. And there they are at work, which is a really... See,
speaking of Arbor Day.
Yes, I see.
But part of Arbor Day is maintaining trees that aren't doing well anymore. That's obviously one that's not doing very well.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so then we have the Yellow Stake program is explained and all the other things that we've discussed before in landscape. Plus they have the request forms and the appeals. They have water management in here too. And they have the forms and then all the resolutions are listed. It is quite complete and very well organized. Staff did a great job on this. And that'll be very helpful for residents. And you'll be able to get it online and probably be able to request a copy if you want.
Okay. All right. Very good.
So that's very good.
Yeah. So that's going to be helpful and get all your information there.
Right. And we have a new issue. Well, it's not a new issue. It's an old issue. But when we put in our solar panels, we had to do some topping of a couple of trees, just like 2, I believe. But nobody wrote a resolution for it, and we think there might be 2 more that might need to be topped or removed, perhaps. And so I call them the solar trees. So we need to work on a resolution for the solar trees so that we have funding for that. And it doesn't just come out of anything, so that we have that budgeted. And we do a good analysis of what needs to be done in order to protect our solar, because if you have trees over the solar panels for part of the day,
right, of course.
then
Yeah.
then in fact the whole grid, or at least that part of the grid, is not even counted, doesn't work. And so we want to keep the trees off the solar panels.
All right. And that isn't that just part of the landscape would do that automatically? or-
Well, yes and no. It is it's out of sync trimming and working on the trees.
Okay.
So now we're trying to do a synchronized trimming of the trees, and trim by need and by species.
Okay.
And so they will have certain species will be done every year, because otherwise the fruits and things are a nuisance for residents, or they get too tall and out of hand.
Okay.
So if they have to do those more often, then they have to do others less often. So they're graphing out and figuring what trees we'll do this every year, and then we'll do this one maybe every 3 or 4 years instead of every 2 years. And so they have to plan it out, and that's part of the Arbor Pro process for us. And so we're going to put those solar trees on that plan somewhere to be sure that they are trimmed every year, or relocated if they need to be removed. Maybe we'll remove them or chop them or whatever. But we need to be sure that we follow a plan for those trees so they don't block our sun.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
Right. Then we had, of course, some trees that residents wanted removed, and we go out and discuss those each time. Staff writes up a report and says, yes, no, this tree is healthy, and so on. And that is also included, the tree rules are included in the new maintenance manual. And so we go out and check. And we hate to remove some trees because, for example, on Ronda Granada, they are, it's just a beautiful street all the way down, because they have these certain kinds of trees on both sides, and they're balanced, you know, and you have this many on this side and these balanced over here, and every manor has so many. And so we have to really think twice when we remove it, because it does change the characteristic, at least for that building. Yeah. And so we make hard decisions. So this time we decided to remove a couple, but leave this one because it was the most star point on that block for those people.
Yeah, sometimes it has to be done.
So we just have to think, trees don't last forever, neither do people, and so it goes on.
Yeah, it's hard to take down trees. I know in our neighborhood,
it is.
Even we had to take down a tree. There used to be a lot more trees in our neighborhood. Well, whoever planted those years and years ago, they were the wrong tree.
Right.
Meaning they were beautiful for 10, 15 years, but they got out of scale. The roots started going underneath things.
Right.
And even though they were healthy, beautiful trees, they were too large, and too intrusive.
Yeah,
and we had a beautiful Norfolk pine, and I loved it, but the roots started going into the sprinkler system. It was beginning to lean towards the house just because of the way the prevailing wind is. And unfortunately, it had to be taken down.
Right. We had a tree this week. There's a male and a female of this tree, and everybody always plants the male. Well, for some reason, in this one spot, at a very busy corner of a cul-de-sac, where there are a lot of walkways where people are going one way to all of these homes and this way to all of those homes. Right over that was a tree of the female variety, and that is not recommended to be planted anywhere close to habitation. And so the fruits were falling on the walkway, and people would get it on their shoes, and it just smells horrible, and it has a very harsh color, and so they go into their homes, and if they have carpeting, that gets on there, and the smell is there and everything. So if it were just regular fruits of some tree, and doesn't happen very often, we ignore it because that's part of our tree policy. We let a tree be a tree, basically.
Yeah.
But this one, no, we're so sorry. So we did accede to the residents' wishes.
Yeah.
Because it was just the wrong species. I mean, species correct, male, female. There were male trees all over. It looked the same, looked beautiful.
Yeah.
This one looks beautiful, but oh my.
Yeah.
So
no, I totally get it.
Yes, and then we had a little discussion about the bluebird boxes. Of course, everybody is right now. It's a very big deal. United decided not to take any action because it is not, we are not required to take any action by the state. Bluebirds are not an endangered species or anything like that. There is no regulation required by United on this. And so we allow residents to do yard work, you know, close to their units and in yellow staked areas. And we allow them to hang things in those places. And so when they began to hang in '85, when they began to hang all the bluebird boxes, they just went down, and any resident who wanted one, they built one for, and so we have a lot of them. But the ones that have nests in them, they will not go back to, which is fine. So if we have too many boxes, it won't hurt. Yeah. Because they just won't use that box, and then we won't have too many birds. So anyway, United said, okay, this is individual people ordered or purchased these boxes to be put up at that time. And individual people are maintaining or not maintaining these boxes. United isn't going to have anything to do with it. If there's something horrible that happens to the tree or the box, then we'll take care of that. Right. But otherwise, no, we're not going to regulate it and hand it all over to somebody to regulate. We'll just let the residents, because some of them belong to other bluebird clubs, and they know how to do it, and they're reporting. Yeah, well, the gentleman who is taking care of this, Danny Henson, really knows us very well. There's a picture of him there. And he's kind of taken this under his wing, huh? Get it under his wing? Yes, I got it. But I mean, he knows it. He's become very well educated in this and very knowledgeable. Right, but there are also several other people who monitor up to 20 boxes, which they had installed earlier. And these people are keeping statistics. Yeah. And so they are using the Southern California Bluebird Society. They're members of that. So there are other societies and there are other groups here who have an interest. And so they were quite distressed when they found Mr. Henson came by and took down some of their boxes. And so that is not to be done anymore. People should ask Mr. Henson if they want his assistance, you know. Yeah. He has a lot of knowledge and a lot of interest and zeal, but he is not the only source of knowledge for these birds, and there are a lot of people who put up boxes that they would like to keep there, and so far it hasn't hurt anybody, and it hasn't hurt the bluebirds, who are doing quite well. So United is not taking anything out of this, except for people should respect other people's property wherever they see it. And that's just our stance. Okay. All right, very good. Anything else you'd like to add? No, but come on down to the creek. Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Maggie. We'll see you next time, and we'll be right back. Okay, thanks.